Okay, here we're doing a 1,000-watt e-bike build. Gonna put it on this giant frame. We're gonna probably get some decent torque arms for it. The specs are, it's a 26-inch wheel, 1,000-watt hub motor, 26 amp controller, 36 volt. 40. This is a 48 volt setup. What we're doing here. So there's the battery, 18 amp hour, 48 volt. Here's your screen, brake levers, throttle, thumb throttle, and sensor for the crank. Yeah, pretty cheap kit, good price. Built a couple other e-bikes, and this is the third now. Picked up this frame and fork and, well, whole bike for pretty cheap. Gonna fix it up and add all this stuff on it. So here's the battery mount, which is pretty standard. This one over here has the same one. Decent setup, except the bolt holes from your water bottle holder just aren't enough. It can still wiggle quite a bit. And I mean, that doesn't look like much with just my hand, but once you get the big battery on there that's really tall, it's really flimsy and the battery's really heavy. So what we do, and what we're going to do, is don't do this to a brand new frame, but we are going to drill a hole where we need it, probably one here and one here. And then we're going to rivet these threads in, I guess you'd call it. The M4 one, I'm guessing. M5. Rivet one of these in. So this you push into the frame and then use the rivet gun. I'll show you how it's done when we do it. And then that gives us 2 more bolt holes to stiffen this up quite a bit, because that really matters. This will it's just too loose. So this is a right angle attachment for a drill, because you can't get a drill in here to drill straight. You need more room than that. So you take this off, obviously, take the mount off after you mark your holes, and you use this to drill and stop at wherever you've set it to fit the right one. I think we're gonna stop there at that line to fit the right rivet. So here's just an example with where it has 4 bolts into the frame. This also has rubber pads, which help out quite a bit too. We cannot put the rubber pads in the white bike because of clearance issues up here and back here for the battery. But yeah, this is on there pretty solid. Like there's a bit of flex, but not much. And that's how you want it. So here's us drilling it. There we go, we have the insert. Now that's in there really solid. The back of it mushrooms up and grabs the inside of the frame. And now we can mount, well, we're gonna put one more hole in, but now we can mount another screw to it for the battery tray. See, I got all 4 bolts down in there now, and battery just barely fits. No space on either side, but it's in there. So this controller's decent size, not huge. There's not too many places to mount on a spike, so we're gonna mount it on the bottom of the down tube. I think one screw is gonna go into the bottle cage hole, and then we're gonna have to drill and rivet a hole up here. So here's one of the most annoying parts, the cabling. We got all the cables red with a bunch of zip ties, folded up because they're too long. And then down here and to the controller. Very close to the chain, but enough out of the way. And then the rear motor cable. And yeah, that's about it. So here, the crank sensor, the cadence sensor, it's not gonna fit in that small space because it's too wide. So we have to put a new bottom bracket in, one that is longer. So we have a few different lengths here. We're gonna test out what fits best. That will throw off your chain line on the crank, but I mean, who's gonna pedal anyway on this bike? Okay, here we have the longer bottom bracket in. We put a 127 millimeter long bottom bracket in. And here's the cadence sensor going on. Push it all the way on, that has enough clearance for the crank to get on the square taper there. So here we have this stainless steel torque arm installed. It was pretty expensive.
It's a Grin V4.
Grin V4. It's on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description for that. Although there are better or cheaper options for sure, or custom options like in some of our other videos. So we have it all installed. We actually are getting an error here, and we contacted the manufacturer. The error is 10, and it stops us from reading the speed. So you can see it's turning. Works well, but we're not getting a speed reading. So there's something wrong with the communication in the speedometer in this unit. I don't know if it's back here in the controller, up here, or in the wiring. All the wiring seems good. It's all brand new. So just a weird error. I don't know, it might be a compatibility issue or even a setting in here. So once we get that figured out, we'll let you know, but otherwise it's going pretty good. It's pretty much done. The front tire pop just sitting here, so we had to put on new rim tape, and we got a new tube, so. So yeah, everything's done. Just need to figure out that error code. I'll do that in a different video. Here we got all the cables zip tied, decently clean as it's gonna get. Yeah, works pretty well, goes pretty fast.